HMS Java was a British Royal Navy 38-gun fifth-rate frigate. She was originally launched in 1805 as Renommée, described as a 40-gun Pallas-class French Navy frigate, but the vessel actually carried 46 guns. The British captured her in 1811 in a noteworthy action during the Battle of Tamatave, but she is most famous for her defeat on the 29th of December 1812 in a 3-hour single-ship action against US Constitution.Java had a crew of about 277, but during her engagement with Constitution her complement was 475. French service. In May 1811, she was part of a 3-sail squadron under François Roquet, but comprising Renommée, Chlorinde and Equitide, and ferrying troops to Mauritius. On the 20th of May, the French encountered a British squadron comprising Astra, Phoebe, Galatea, and Racehorse. In the ensuing Battle of Tamatave, Renommée struck after her mainsail was set on fire. The British captured an Equitide 5 days later at Tamatave, Madagascar. Chlorinde, commanded by Jacques de Saint-Cyr, escaped. The British brought Renommée into service as Java and an Equitide as Madagascar. Royal Navy service. In July, Java was under Captain William Gordon, but not commissioned until August under Captain Henry Lambert, a senior commander who had seen combat on a number of occasions in His Majesty's service. Java sailed from Portsmouth on the 12th of November for Bombay to deliver the appointed governor, Lieutenant General Sir Thomas Hisler, and his staff with the baggage and naval stores. She was carrying additional personnel for other ships at the time and included another Royal Navy commander in transit. Capture by US Constitution. Captain Lambert of Java was a well-qualified officer, having seen much combat during his service. Java had more than a full crew, having been rounded out while in Portsmouth. However, many were landsmen still raw to service at sea, and even more damning to her crews, they had only practiced gunnery once without shot loaded in the guns. Still, Java was well supplied and manned, and would prove to be well handled and well fought. US Constitution had an experienced crew manning a heavy frigate carrying 54 cannon, 30 24-pounder guns and 24 32-pounder carronades, plus 2 18-pounder boat chasers. On the 13th of December 1812, sailing from Boston by way of Cape Verde, US Constitution, under the command of Captain William Bainbridge, accompanied by US Hornet, commanded by James Lawrence, arrived off the coast of Brazil at St. Salvador. On the 26th of December, Hornet was sent into the port to communicate with the American consul stationed there. On the 29th of December at 9 a.m., still out at high sea in search of prizes, crewmen aloft Constitution sighted strange sails on the distant horizon. Bainbridge initially was unsure of the disposition of the ships, but hours later, as they drew closer, he was able to discern that the approaching vessels were large and now assumed them to be British. To ascertain the disposition of the unidentified ships, Constitution hoisted private signals at 11:30 a.m., while the assumed British vessel also hoisted its signals, but neither ship made the correct counter-signal. Constitution, tacking the wind, made her way from the neutral Portuguese territorial waters, with Java giving chase. The following day at 12:30 p.m. Java hoisted her colors and ensign, with Constitution hoisting her colors in reply. With the dispositions of each ship confirmed, Java, with the weather gauge to her advantage, came about to position herself to raid Constitution. Being French-built, she was comparatively light for a frigate and was consequently faster and more maneuverable than Constitution. In reply, Constitution fired a shot across Java's bow, with Java returning fire with a full broadside. Java started the battle badly outmatched both in terms of the experience of her crew and the weight of her broadside. Constitution, with her experienced commander and crew, counted by not shortening sail as was standard. By 2 p.m. both ships were heading southeast. The opening phase of the action comprised both ships turning to and from, attempting to get a better position for which to fire upon and rake the other, but with little success. Bainbridge now wore Constitution to a matching course and opened fire with a broadside at half a mile. This broadside accomplished nothing and forced Bainbridge to risk raking to close Java. Another broadside from Java carried away Constitution's helm, disabling her rudder and leaving Bainbridge severely wounded. However, he still maintained command, refusing to sit out the battle. Both ships resumed firing broadsides, but by now Java had a mast and sail falling over her starboard side that prevented most of her guns on that side from firing, which also prevented her from laying alongside Constitution. The guns that attempted to fire only managed to set the fallen sail and rigging ablaze. Constitution's accuracy of fire and the greater weight of her broadside put the much smaller Java at a large disadvantage. Within 1 hour, after several close encounters involving the rigging of each ship getting entangled with the others, Java's masts collapsed. During this encounter, a sharpshooter aloft in Constitution mortally wounded Lambert. Lieutenant Henry Juicy Chads now took over command, assisted by the captain in transit to his ship. Bainbridge used this opportunity to distance Constitution so as to make immediately needed repairs, taking approximately an hour. However, clearing the masts and fallen rigging aboard Java had hardly begun when Constitution returned from repairing her damage and immediately took a raking position from which Java could not defend herself. This left Lieutenant Chads no choice but to surrender Java. Constitution hoisted out a boat and sent First Lieutenant Parker to take possession of the prize. In the battle, Java suffered 22 men killed, including Lambert, and 102 wounded. Constitution lost 9 men initially and 57 wounded, including Bainbridge. Some 4 or 5 later succumbed to the wounds. In the course of battle, Java was rendered a dismasted hulk that was not worth taking as a prize. Instead, Bainbridge removed her helm and installed it on Constitution, replacing the one that had been shot away. On New Year's Day 1813, 2 days after the engagement, Bainbridge gave the order to set Java ablaze. She subsequently blew up. Upon learning of the death of Captain Lambert, Commodore Bainbridge expressed deep sorrow for a commander he credited to be brave and noble. On the 23rd of April 1813, Lieutenant Chads and the other surviving officers and men of Java faced the customary court-martial aboard HMS Gladiator for the loss of their ship. They were honorably acquitted. Postscript. Although claims exist that the still-commissioned Constitution sports the wheel that Bainbridge salvaged from Java, the evidence is that the U.S. Navy replaced the wheel from Java in a subsequent refurbishment. In fiction, the engagement between Java and Constitution was fictionalized in the novel The Fortune of War by Patrick O'Brian. Citations